Hey Hugs, Amazon Prime Days are coming. It's July 15th and 16th this year. Now I know we're all Prime members, but if you aren't, now is a great time to take advantage of their free 30-day trial so that you can have access to all of these amazing prices. Also, if you're using the Amazon app for the first time, you're going to get $10 credit just for opening the app. And when you make your first purchase, another $10 of credit towards any purchases you want on Amazon.com. This is a great way to support the Uggs. Just click through our Ugly Truth website, click the Amazon link, and go shopping. Thank you so much. Enjoy your deals. Hey, thanks so much for pressing play on our latest episode. Paula is back, and we attempt to recap our 4th of July festivities, but get a little sidetracked as usual. Plus, Paula recaps the birthday party that she threw for her daughter, and then we talk about the stupid thing I did, which is agree to go camping with the family. This and your camping, ugly, and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. ShopLipandClip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
I'm just standing here talking.
Paula?
Stay close to Mama.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 385. Ugh.
That wasn't so bad. We're Sisters Who Podcast.
We are Sisters Who Podcast. Welcome back, Paula.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, well, you mean coming back. Yes.
I know.
I'm very grateful you're back. So producer Deb sat in for you on the Sunday show. So
Did
that
any fights ensue?
You know, we always get a little testy right before we go live with the mic.
I don't know why. We got a real hot mic.
We got a hot mic here, real hot mic. I think it's nerves. And here's the other thing. I really forget. I mean, for just a scant moment, I forget how easy it is for you and I to do this show. Mm-hmm. We share a brain. And so it's so easy to do this. Daryl used to be on the radio.
Right.
For years he was on the radio, and so he has a lovely voice, but I also forget that he didn't do banter. He wasn't like a morning show or a hot talk show host. He
like, hey,
literally,
this is Alex Knight, this is Prince and the Doves or whatever.
And that's all he did. Yeah. And the Doves and whatever. Exactly. That's it. That's all he did. And I mean, I'm not minimizing what he did. What I'm saying is he did not have to write content and have a partner that he said, like, okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk about this. And it wasn't like that at all. So I overestimate how quick thinking he is, because he isn't. Like I said, okay, so I'm going to do some man questions for our show. And he said, okay. Mm-hmm. And I said, now, do you need me to give these to you prior to us recording, or can you think on your feet? Because you, Paula, can think on your feet very quickly and you can come up with whatever. And he's like, I'd really appreciate it if you would hand those to me the day before.
You're like, okay.
I'm like, all right. Because he has to prepare. And I said, all right, that's fine.
And preparing doesn't make for much fun.
To me, it doesn't. But it's also, I just like it real, natural.
You want it quick and dirty. Yeah.
Yeah. And he hates it. And we have tried to say, well, I'll just ask you the question. You just answer him on the show. Just be funny.
And he's like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's like, wait, what? And I said, you can do it. I have faith in you. And he's like, okay. So then ultimately, I can't tell you how many episodes we have deleted because we start fighting. And he goes, and I'm like, what? He goes, this isn't very funny. No one's going to want to hear this. And I'm like, you're right. Straighten it up. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Be funnier. And he's like,
your funny bone.
It's almost like me going, okay, 1, 2, 3, be erect. And it's like, wait a minute. You know what I mean?
He's not a porn star.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's like, I didn't realize you needed a fluffer for this, but here we go. So,
I mean, they joke everybody can have a podcast. I mean, that's probably true, but I guess not everybody has a successful one.
Exactly. Oh, and of course, Tyler, he's getting the bug. He so badly wants to do a podcast.
About what?
So, It Too comes out in September.
What
the sequel to It.
Like the
sequel
thing.
to the scary movie It. The sequel is coming out in September, and Tyler and I have this thing. We love to go see horror movies, and so we're going to go see it. And then I told him that I said, we will do a film review and I'll put it into an episode. But I go, but it's got to be like 5 minutes. You know, it has to be like really, he's freaking out. He's like, 5 minutes. And I said, well, 15 is ridiculous. You can't nobody needs a film review for 15 minutes. 5 minutes.
You guys could do like your own little carnival, but just do an It review.
Right. And so he's just like, he loved the fact that it's going to be months away. So he has time to prepare. Because, you know, apparently men in general need preparation. Who knew? And then he goes, okay, all right, we'll do it. And I said, all right, be prepared. He's like, I will. And he walked away. So we'll see. We'll see if it happens. It should happen, though. I mean, a little 5-minute review would be fun. So anyway, with that being said, 4th of July has come and gone, and we didn't talk about it. You were busy. You went to a neighbor block party.
I know. Remarkably, we were social this year.
I can't believe it.
I know. Well, it's amazing, you know, when your kids actually start making friends.
Yes.
You know, inevitably, you kind of make friends with parents.
You become friendly with said parents, yes.
Friendly. That's probably a good term. One of Olivia's friends, her parents had invited us over because they live in a court. Right. And I guess they do like a big fireworks party every year on 4th of July. All right. So we went over there with our potato salad and beer. And
how American of you.
I know, right? And we were 45 minutes late, of course, because I just got in the shower like an hour before we were supposed to leave. And
why did you do that?
You know, I don't.
Did you not want to go?
Don't act like you're not the only one.
Oh, please, Paula. Are you kidding? Why do you think I host all the parties?
But I gave myself an hour, and I'm like, it's not going to take me an hour to get ready. But apparently, it took me an hour and 45 minutes. So,
were you getting crap from everybody yet about? Come on, Mom.
You know, they know better than to try and hurry me. Victor did not come in once because he just knows better that I would probably bite his head off. Right. Olivia came in and she's just like, Mom, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm almost ready. 5 more minutes, you know, and I'm like in a towel.
Typical. I'm so bad.
Eventually, I think they gave up because they just knew I was going to be ready when I was ready.
When I'm going to be that far behind, I usually just say, just go. I'll meet you there. That's usually what I do because I'm like, I don't want to hold up the whole crew. Just go. And then, of course, inevitably, Daryl goes, no, we're all going to go together. And I'm like, well, then I'm sorry. I'm running late. I am like you. I get nerves. I get anxiety. So next thing you know, Daryl comes in. He goes, oh, you ready to go? And I'm sitting on the bed in a towel.
Well, eventually I end up like, you know, hot and naked because I've tried on like 15 different outfits. Yes. You know, my hair is still wet. I've got like, you know, dried mascara down to my cheeks because I haven't wiped it off from the shower. And
you're like, the thing started 5 minutes ago. You're like, I'm coming.
And then I try and put on my bra, which won't go on my body because, you know, it's all hot and clammy and, you know, I'm ripping my skin as I try and turn it around, and it's a mess.
Do you know what I hate about that too? Is when you're hot and sweaty and you're kind of still kind of damp from the shower and you're putting on clothes and it's a struggle to put things on. You're like, what, did I just gain 10 pounds in 5 minutes?
I swear.
Right? And I hate it.
And it's just like, I didn't even take a hot shower. It was like semi-cold because I was already kind of hot because it wasn't, I don't think it was hot that day, but I just felt hot. I don't know. I think it must have been the nerves. And so I resent nothing more than having to put on a bra when I'm like, tacky, like a clammy.
I hate it
because it just, and if I could do it like frontwards I would, but I don't think that's humanly possible. I've read online where they said different ways women put on bras, and there are women who put it on that way, and I'm like, how
do you do that?
How do you see what you're doing?
You know? Well, you know what it is, it's the small boobed women who have only 1 or 2 hooks. Okay, they're not the women that have industrial strength bras.
Yeah, that have like the 3 freaking hooks or something like that.
Yes, which is what I do.
Then you have to pull your boobs out and then tuck your nipple back in. And,
I'm a 3 hooker, and there's a lot of adjustment going on. There's a lot of adjustment that has to occur to look right.
Well, and especially, like I said, if you're kind of clammy, then you pull your boobs out, and then they stay out, and then you got to tuck them back in, and then the nipple pops out, and then you tuck that thing back in, and then
it's just, you know, I mean, and then and then every once in a while I'll go, you know what, I'm not wearing a bra to the grocery store, and I'll go in and I'll look at myself in the t-shirt, and I'm like, wow, I really need a bra. I can't go out like this. It's not good.
That's hilarious because I don't know if you've seen online, they're doing this. Max Holloway started this thing called the bottle cap challenge. Have you seen
Yeah.
those?
A million of them. Yes.
Okay,
Mariah
so
Carey's was the best.
That's what I told Ryan.
Yes.
So Ryan, Olivia, and myself attempted to do the slow motion bottle cap challenge in our backyard.
Is there a reason why I haven't seen this film?
Well, because we haven't perfected it yet. But
Well, I think the imperfections is more typical for what we are providing for the audience.
well, the one I had that was actually really good is the one that Ryan was filming and holding the bottle. I was doing the kick, but the problem is I was not wearing a bra, and and in slow motion, it was painfully obvious that I was not.
God. And not sexy, painfully obvious.
I was wearing like a giant Avengers t-shirt, and so I was just like, oh my God. Like, I think they flopped to the opposite sides.
So flesh globules are like
it was just
slowly ballooning under your shirt.
short of, a woman in Kansas wearing a muumuu. It was just so unattractive.
Oh my God.
At some point this week, I know we're going to do it. And
Okay.
And so we'll just get it done.
Okay, so anyway, you did go. So you went to the 4th of July festivities. Did they have like a lot of fireworks? Did they set up the ladders and everything?
Yeah, they had like a table and
nice.
Just some other fireworks. Of course, none of the names that I could actually say because that's not really their names, but that's what Dad called them. And
Right.
so,
Yes. Yeah.
as you get older, you realize that's not really their names.
Right. Yeah. We discussed that. It's true.
So
Yeah. We have all basically adult kids. So everybody has plans.
oh,
So we went and bought like just a few fireworks at the local support the cheerleaders firework booth.
right.
We lit them off, but there was like all the neighbors were out and everybody was lighting off their little stash of stuff.
Right.
And it was like we were done. I think we went out there at like 8:45 and we were in the house before 9:15. And it was pretty much it.
Wow.
And the thing is I told Daryl, I'm like, why do we even do this? Like, we are not big 4th of July people. There are certain holidays that people really get into, and this is not one of them for us. This is just not one of the ones where we go, all right, let's get the picnic basket and go and sit and watch fireworks. It's just not, that's not our thing. So I
Right.
said, I think we might just not do this.
I was sitting in the chair mostly playing on my phone. I don't really know why I was so antisocial this year.
You know what? You didn't know anybody. And honestly, those things are not, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind them. It's just, they're not the best for people like us.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, when you only know like 2 people out of 50, then, it just kind of is like,
I don't know.
well, I talked to you and I'm done now, so I'm just going to go play
And
with my
inevitably
phone.
what happens is I'll start chatting it up with someone's husband and then they'll come over like, hello, who are you? And I'm like, I'm just standing here talking.
Yeah, no, I
That
just
happens
sat in
a lot.
the chairs that we brought, and of course there's little kids driving around in their little like scooters or tricycles or whatever, and I'm trying to keep tabs on Olivia because there's like a million people out there and she's just in a sea of people. And
How many people were there?
Well, between who they invited and then the neighbors and everything, I would say there's probably like 50 or 75 people there.
Ew, that sounds awful.
It was a big block of people. So I was on my phone, but most of the time just kind of scouring to make sure I knew where Olivia was most of the time.
Right. Well, so that was that. Now, you did a birthday party. You took Olivia and her 2 little friends to the Hyatt, which is the nicest hotel in this area.
It's the best you can get, unfortunately, for Sacramento.
You just needed something with a pool
Basically.
and 2 beds.
And the ability to do room service, which they
Right.
couldn't even have the ability to do that. But anyway, so Olivia turned 10 this year, and it was double digits. It was a big deal to her.
Sure.
And so most of the times with kids' birthday parties, if you do any kind of like trampoline place or skate place or, laser tag or bowling or anything, inevitably it's like $400. It just is.
Yes, there's no way to cheap out on a birthday party. And without just not having one.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm like, well, what if I try something different? Like, what if I rented a hotel room downtown and then I got like 2 of our friends. We went and did like, manicures, went to the hotel, swam, went to dinner, played games in the room, did makeup, all that kind of stuff, got room service and checked out. I'm like, that would probably be about the same, probably even less, to be honest, but a lot more fun.
Sure.
We went to McDonald's first, ladies' choice. And then we went and got our manicures. And then we drove to the hotel, checked in. Right when we get into the room, of course, the television, the lamp, and the refrigerator does not work. So we had to call the maintenance person or the front desk, and they sent up a maintenance guy. He was super cute, too. You would have liked him. But he was like this big, burly, like redheaded beard guy.
Why would I like a burly, redheaded, bearded guy? I would never. Did he look like a leprechaun?
No, he didn't look like a leprechaun. He kind of reminded me of Chris Cuppy.
I would not be into that at all.
Okay.
Anyway.
I see the point. But so he's sitting there telling me, he's like, well, you know what's wrong here? And I'm like, what?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you inform us?
He's one of those people. He was one of those people that had to, explain everything like I gave a shit. And I'm just like, he's like, well, this main plug here is, detached from the wall entirely and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you're talking to me about things like I understand.
Well, not only that, but it's like,
care.
Do I look like someone that I care? I have a maintenance man in my hotel room right now. All I really want is another fucking room.
I have a maintenance man here in my hotel room, and I have 3 9-year-olds. Do I appear to care about the main plug in the wall?
Not at all.
I just want the refrigerator to be cold, and I want them to be able to watch television while I get the room set up.
God, you know what? Was that obviously that was a foreboding on how this evening was going to go.
It should have been. So he got it fixed pretty quickly. So we got all our stuff. We had just like so many snacks and junk and sodas and all that stuff. And so everyone changed their swimsuits quickly. We went downstairs to the pool. The pool was packed. And I was just like, why is it so damn packed? I'll take a step back. By the time we got there, it was like 5:30-ish.
Okay.
On our way down, the elevator was full of people. And they were all dressed up super nice and everything. And so the door shuts. And so I'm looking around and they all have badges on. And
it's a convention of sorts, perhaps?
That's what I thought. I'm like, they must be having like a convention or something. So I'm looking around and the badges said something like, you can live forever or something.
Oh my God.
That, And I'm just like, I was like,
oh my God.
And I was just like, oh my God. And then at the bottom it says Jehovah's Witnesses. And I was just like,
oh my God, evangelicals. All you're thinking is, this elevator better not stall.
Oh my God. I was thinking like,
if
this thing stops and we're stuck in here for any length of time, it will take moments before.
You will have so many pamphlets and email addresses.
And I'll be like, come here, babies. Stay close to mama.
God.
That's why the hotel was so packed, is because it was filled with Jehovah's Witnesses. And
because the convention center is right down the street.
Yes. And that's why everyone in the pool was,
modestly
at least
dressed.
The adults, they were so polite. But of course, the children were, hellacious, jumping.
Yeah.
I was just politely sitting because I was not about to get in the pool. But I was watching the girls. I was sitting in a chair off to the pool, and I swear these 2 little boys made it a point to jump right in front of me and continually do cannonballs.
Why? Well, you know what?
Because they thought it was fun. And I'm just like, where are your parents? Do they not see that you're basically doing tsunamis in front of me? And I'm getting splashed with every one of your things. And so one of them hopped out and looked at me, and I just glared at him. And he didn't do another cannonball in front of me.
So outside of that, so the festivities went off fine. What occurred the next morning, though? Because you wanted to do room service for these children.
The night before, you know how you can write on, they have a room service. Some places have this. They have the room service card that you can hang on your door by like 2 a.m.
Yes.
And then they'll come take it off, and then you'll have your stuff delivered the next morning. So the next morning at 9:00 came our room service as expected. So they roll in the thing, and I'm expecting the full blown, steel table with all the little steel lids and all that stuff and everything being all hot and, the glasses and blah, blah, blah. And they roll in and everything's like covered in plastic. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And, they had everything, but everything was like in like plastic containers or like paper bowls
bamboo,
or stuff. And so it's just like, well, okay, whatever. That's weird. So she leaves because I don't really like them to set it up. I'm just like, no, go ahead and go. I'll do it.
Right.
I just think it's weird when they sit there and try and set up all your food.
It's part of the room service. Service.
Half the time, not this instant, but half the time if I'm in the hotel room, one time I remember entirely, I was completely naked. They knocked on the door and I just, how the comforters are kind of big and fluffy?
Yes.
I just slid down and hid under it until
I've done that.
left.
I've done that.
So I just told her, I'm like, oh no, I've got it. Go ahead. And so she left. And so I started getting everybody their things. And then I sat down to eat mine and I was looking at it and I'm just like, this looks like a McDonald's thing. I'm like,
right.
What the hell? So I'm like sitting there eating and the girls are trying to cut their waffles and they've got like plastic utensils.
Ugh, that's weird.
They couldn't cut anything. And so I'm like, well, maybe just pick it up with your fingers, I guess. I don't know.
Turn it into a dipper, girls.
And so that's what they started doing is they started picking it up, dipping it in their syrup.
Yeah.
And, and I'm like, this is effing ridiculous. I'm like, this is a 4-star hotel. And I'm like, and this room service costs us $75. I was pissed. I ordered potatoes, ham, and poached eggs. And my eggs were like hard-boiled eggs.
They weren't poached.
I'm like, this chef doesn't know how to poach a fucking egg. I'm like, he works at basically the nicest hotel in Sacramento, and he can't poach an egg. So I posted a picture on Facebook, and I'm just like, so I guess this is room service.
So it was obviously a bust. Did you complain?
So I posted the picture on Facebook and everyone said you should complain. And then someone said you should tweet a photo.
I'm surprised you didn't complain. I would have been like, take this gruel away.
You know what? I hate doing that. I
do too,
absolutely
actually.
hate doing that.
I do
and
too.
so I would rather just eat it and just deal with it. And because I hate complaining about service. So someone's just like, you should tweet a photo about it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I guess I could. So I tweeted a photo about it to the main Hyatt. Mm-hmm. And like literally within like 2 minutes, I had a reply.
Yeah.
And she says, can you just DM me your information? So I DM'd her my information. And then like just a few minutes later, she said, okay, I've contacted the hotel. I have looked at the picture. I myself am not pleased. And she's like, they will be contacting you shortly.
Cool.
And so they called me and said that they took the breakfast off my bill.
Nice.
They did note that it was my daughter's birthday because I had mentioned on the tweet that it was my daughter's birthday. But in the reservation, I had also noted that it was my daughter's birthday.
And they didn't care.
Nothing. Now they suddenly sent up, this cheesecake, which was about the size of a peanut butter lid.
Did she eat it?
Well, between the three of them, they all got about like a bite.
Well,
so
that's fine.
But I mean, to be honest, I booked the room a month in advance and I got it for like $128. So
there you go.
I can't really complain.
No, you can't. Well, I'm glad Olivia had a great birthday. And then I saw that you guys celebrated her actual birthday on her birthday with a little cake, which is so cute.
Yes. Well, what's funny about the cake is, they got the blue icing and they wanted me to write on the cake. So
was that your writing?
No, let me finish. Okay. I started with the word happy. So if you look at the cake, the word happy is perfectly well written.
Okay.
And then Ryan's like, let me finish. And I'm like, all right.
Boy.
So Ryan did birthday and he messed up the Y. So Victor attempted to finish it and it just looked like a big glob of nothing. So it said B-Day. And then Olivia said, well, I want Dad to write something on the cake too. So Victor drew this giant blue heart in the corner. And I'm just
Jesus
like,
Christ.
why did you guys have to fuck up everything on the cake? You should have just let me wrote happy birthday on it.
Actually, the problem is that you let. There is no let. I'd be like, no, fuck you guys. I'm doing this. And that's the end of it.
I know. I don't know why I let Ryan even try.
I don't either. You stop acting so helpless. Just say no. N-O, no. Go away.
It wasn't about being helpless. It was about Ryan wanting to participate. So I was just like, all right, fine.
You can put
But I mean,
the
I
candle
told him
in.
no about Well, the candles were already in, and of course they got the number candles, which I hate because nobody wants to blow out 2 candles.
They want the whole
Everybody
10.
wants to blow out all 10.
Right.
But I didn't get the cake or the candles, you know.
All right. Well, we're running out of time, shockingly. So I'm going to... Okay, so I did a dumb thing, and Daryl and I talked about this briefly on Sunday's show last week. I have agreed to go camping. Now,
What? Were you drunk?
No, I have this weird thing. Malia's never been camping. We have taken the kids camping several times when they were younger, and I felt bad that she had never experienced camping with her siblings. Now it's a little too late because everybody's in their 20s and she's 18. So I told Daryl, I said, well, I think we should take her camping. And I don't know why I said this, but he got so excited. He's like, done and done.
Wow.
2 days later, we have a lakefront spot at Sly Park and we're going. And so I said, but I have some demands. I absolutely need a new tent because the tents that we have are the ones that you take on your man trip. And I don't want to be anywhere near those tents. I'd rather not.
Right.
So I want a new one. So we're getting a new tent. And of course, he's like, just don't buy anything. Just let me do it. And I'm like, okay, first of all, don't tell me what to do. I will buy whatever tent I want and you will just deal with it. He goes, well, I don't even know how many tents we can have on this spot. I'm like, giving 0 fucks. I'm getting a new tent. So that's that.
Yeah, I mean, how many tents do you think? How many tents does he think you're going to buy?
I'm buying one. I'm buying a one tent. But I also need to find...
Oh, you know he's hoping you guys are going to have tent sex.
It ain't happening. I already told him. I said no sex.
He's probably like, what?
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? He goes,
It's always been a thing of mine.
Can we at least share? Can we zip up our sleeping bags together? And I said, no, absolutely not. He goes, we're not going to have like the double... I'm like, nope. None of it. None.
So you're like going to totally ruin this for him.
There's no showers. There's a toilet. And he goes, and there's a spigot. And I'm like, a spigot?
What's a spigot?
It's the faucet.
Is that like where you pump those things and the water comes out? Or
faucet?
What is that?
It's like a freestanding pipe with a thing on top to turn on and off the water. That's all there is. And a toilet. That's not close, by the way. So he goes, and you've got the lake. I'm like, he goes, well, officially it's a reservoir. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we have a reservoir. And
what difference does it make?
Okay, here, I told my hairdresser, I said, I'm going camping. He goes, shut up. Tell me, where are you going? I'm like, I know.
Seriously?
I can't believe it. So I said, I'm not eating anything you fish out of the water. So don't even. He looked at me like, why would you say that? And I'm like, I'm not eating it. I don't want parasites. I don't know what is in this quote unquote reservoir.
Well, what's the difference between a reservoir and a lake?
It's man-made, I believe. That, and I said no tent sex because Malia's bringing her boyfriend, and then Mackenzie, our daughter, is bringing her friend Alyssa. So that'll be the 6 of us. However, I have not floated this across, but there is room for 2 more if you want to come.
With who?
Your children.
You said 2 more.
Yeah, I know,
I
but
can
Olivia,
send Ryan and Olivia.
Olivia
can go.
Olivia doesn't count. She's a child.
Jamie, I'm not going to squeeze in that tent with you guys.
You will get your own tent, you dork.
Don't try and drag me into this.
Paula,
it's not happening.
I mean, I thought about it immediately, and I thought she should come with us. The kids will love it.
You
would.
can take my kids with you.
I don't want to take your kids.
I'm not going.
Fine.
I'm ill-equipped. What? I don't even know where to start.
I don't either. I just thought it would be fun.
Like, is there like a 101 camping or something? Like,
you've been camping.
No. What Mom and Paul did was not camping. They went to places that they got a parking space that had, like a little fire pit.
I had demands. I said no eating fish out of the lake. And he was disappointed by that. No sex in the tent. He was disappointed by that. But I said, I don't want hot dogs. I don't want to eat hot dogs or bologna. None of that.
No lips and assholes food.
He goes, what kind of camping do you think I do? And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, we have steak and blah, blah, blah. And it's very gourmet. Food is an essential part of the camping experience.
Okay, I've heard about their big, giant vats of chili that everyone gets diarrhea from.
Tyler's chili is what they call it.
And the guy slipped off the commode and got diarrhea all up his back and on a tree or something.
Right. I said, okay. I said, so apparently I said, what about coffee? Coffee is essential. I need coffee. So how do you do that? He goes, well, we have one, but Brad has it, so we will buy our own. And I said, but I don't want Folgers crystals. I want legit. He goes, we'll get a French press. I said, all right, fine. We'll do that. I said, now obviously, I don't want to sleep on the hard ground in a sleeping bag. I want some kind of covering. Or some
like a mattress or something that you can
like I said on the show, I Googled tent bed, but tent bed does not exist. A tent bed is something that a child sleeps on in his room with a little tent over it. I said, okay.
Okay, did you try tent mattress?
So I said, okay, tent bed is not what I'm looking for. So I Googled beds for tents camping. And and I got air mattresses. So that's what I was looking for.
I would love to look at your Google history sometime. So actually, that should be like a website.
I know.
Google history.
That is a good idea, actually.
God, that'd be freaking funny.
That would be freaking funny. So there are little blow-up mattresses that you can get to put on underneath your sleeping bag. So not like full-blown blow-up mat. He goes, well, we can get cots. I'm like, I am not sleeping on a cot.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cots here.
What's happening?
Are you guys bringing the dogs?
No. Tyler's not going. Okay. He's got to work. So Aaron has to work. So they're going to watch the house for us. We're leaving on a Sunday. We will return on a Tuesday.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
So it's only 2 nights. Calm down. It's only 2 nights.
Sorry. I was thinking Friday for some reason.
No. We're leaving on a Sunday. We're returning on a Tuesday. And my guess is that I will sprint to the showers the second we get home. But I figure we're leaving on a Sunday afternoon. Like we're leaving around noon or 1. Mm-hmm. And it's about an hour, 45 minutes away, maybe an hour away.
So you'll shower like that morning.
I'm literally going to shower, get dressed, and get in the car. So I'm clean. Yeah, so that's happening. I think I might buy a raft, those blow-up rafts so you can float in the river.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't want to get in one where my butt is touching the water. I want to be like on top of it.
No, I'm just saying, why would you want to get in the water, period?
Oh, I like the lake. I mean, I just don't want to swim in it. But I mean,
I know, but you have to like step in it before you get in the boat.
I'm aware. I mean, look, I've been camping. This isn't going to be like.
Make sure Daryl films it while you're getting in.
This is not Troop Beverly Hills. Okay, I've done the camping thing. I've done it enough to know that I don't like it, but I also feel like I owe it to my daughter to have her have the experience of camping, so she can be the girl that says, "I've been camping once." So
okay, I could say. See, I would go camping like if I had a boyfriend or someone, and I could literally just transplant to the site.
Yes, and
everything is completely done for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing anything. I mean,
I don't mean like everything's done for me. Like I'll participate. Like if I can cook or something, like help or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, don't expect me to, set up anything or. No. Kill a bug or something. I'm not going to do that.
Well, and I was a little concerned about critters, but Sly Park is pretty benign. There's no creatures. There's no nothing. But I do want to ensure that I don't have anything enter the tent in the evening when we're sleeping.
Well, you have to just keep it zipped closed, right?
Yes. The zipper will be closed.
And you got to put your food in the car.
My food, yes. Or whatever. I don't know. But Daryl's like, well, you want to sleep in the back of the truck? I'm like, I don't want to sleep in the back of the truck.
Because it'll still attract the animals.
I'm more concerned, and I get concerned about people because people are stupid.
Just bring a giant knife or something.
I will. I have my little trusty knife. I will be bringing it. So we're doing it, and it should be interesting. I will obviously report back since you're not going to come with us.
When is this happening?
August 18, 19, 20, I think. Daryl's bringing a bunch of girls with him, one guy, and we'll see how that all shakes out. I assume that this is going to be exhausting for him and that he will be like, I'm never doing this again. Because Mackenzie's already like, well, I don't understand. What do you mean there's no shower? And I said, I know, no shower, but that's okay. We'll just all show up clean, and then, we'll be leaving Tuesday at like noon. So by the time we get home, we'll be able to wash our hair and stuff.
I mean, worst case scenario, you could always just like boil some water in a pot and like wash your hair.
I can't even fathom getting this dirty where I would want to do this, but I can definitely use the spigot to wet myself if I have to.
I'm gonna have to Google a spigot. I'm not understanding what that is.
It's the pipes that just stick out of the ground with the faucet on top. Just really primal, basic water.
Like in an agricultural environment?
I assume. I mean, haven't you ever seen those where they just are sticking out?
How do you spell spigot?
Spiget.
Oh, spigot. Okay. Oh, spigot.
Spigot. Okay, there you go. Sounds like
Spigot.
bigot.
A small peg or plug, especially for insertion into the vent of a cask. That does not help. A faucet. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, so that we'll do that. It'll be interesting. I'm just trying to figure out, what do we do all day? Like, what do you do all day? I mean, I definitely want to go on a hike, but like,
oh my God, what if you don't have service?
Well, we probably won't. I don't know. I mean, maybe
do you guys have a hotspot? Or?
Yeah, we have a Wi-Fi. We'll bring it. I'm sure we'll bring it.
I mean, that's going to be a necessity.
Yes. So there you have it.
Wow.
When we were on the show talking about it on Sunday, I said, look, I'm well aware that there are women who go camping all the time and that they're big in fishing and they don't have a problem with any of this. I get it. I am not that person. So I was forced to go camping as a youth. And then when we were young, in our early mid-20s, we took the kids foolishly camping a couple of times. And then before I was married or anything and I had a boyfriend, we went camping at the ocean. And so, and I've done it. So that was actually a hilarious trip. I think I was like 19 and like 9 of us went camping at Bodega Bay. And we went to the campsite, and the only campsite, the guy, I think it was my boyfriend, because his parents had like a KOA membership or something.
Yeah.
So we reserved a spot, and it was an RV campground. But we did not have an RV. We had tents. And they allowed it because they can't really say no, but it is what it is. So we're surrounded by RVs and old people.
In your tents.
In our 5 tents. So the night we get there, everyone's excited. We're young. We have a lot of energy. Everybody's been drinking. We don't even realize what time it is. And we are surrounded by giant RVs, right? And so all of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone goes in this accent, by the way, and I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We are trying to get some sleep.
Oh, shit.
That came out of nowhere. And we all were like, we looked at each other and we started to laugh. And then, of course, the drunkest of all of us is like, sorry. I said we're sorry. You know. So we all fall asleep. We wake up in the next morning and everyone's a little hungover. So, hair of the dog. So we go to the beach for the day and we play volleyball. What we didn't realize until that moment when we were at the volleyball court, it's sand, is that the powers that be, the park patrol, has been watching us because we're trouble.
Well, someone probably complained.
Of course they did. So we're playing volleyball, and you know how athletically inclined we are. So we're playing volleyball, and I'm like, I got it! And I see this volleyball coming. I get hit in the head so hard in the face.
That's exactly why I don't play volleyball.
That I fell, and my bell was rung. I look up, and everyone's on the ground laughing. I was that woozy. I was concussed. And they were like, are you all right? I'm like, I'm fine. So I go get the ball because it had bounced off my face and rolled off into the side. So I go to grab it. Well, there's wild nettles everywhere.
What's nettles?
Wild nettles are like these weeds that grow. And if you touch them, all these invisible pokies attack you.
Ow!
Magnetically almost. And they attack you. It's like a defense mechanism. And so I'm like, ow! And they're like, oh, you got stinging nettles. So out of nowhere, I go to a spigot and I turn on the water and I'm rinsing my hand because it burns. Mm-hmm. And the patrol guy walks up. He goes, stinging nettles, huh? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, you got to rub some mud in it. I'm like, what? He goes, mud. You need mud. And I'm like, okay. So I grab mud and I'm packing it on my hand. And I mean, it was such a nightmare. So then we go back to the campsite at night.
Sounds like the beginning of a bad porn.
Oh my God. So we go back to the campsite.
Here, let me spit on it. I'm just kidding. Wah, wah, wah.
Why, officer, this mud is so sticky.
These nettles went right up my ass. Oh, I'll lick them out.
You need mud. My mud. So
Gross.
We go back to the campsite and it's nighttime and we're all tired. Now we all fell asleep at like 7.
I'm imagining, volleyball on sand can't be easy.
Not to mention the 3 a.m., the morning before. So we're sitting there. I did not get as hammered, so I was still awake. And so we're sitting around the campfire, a couple of us, and the patrol guy shows up. And he's like, okay, well, we're just checking on you guys because, we got some complaints earlier today. And we're like, yeah, we're sorry. Most of us are passed out, so there won't be any problems. And then he goes, Alan, is that you?
Oh, shit.
And Alan goes, yes. He goes, are you Walt's son? And he's all, yeah. He goes, your parents are very fine, upstanding people. I don't want to report to them later that you guys were misbehaving. And he's like, no, sir, we'll behave. And he's like, all right.
How did he know him?
Because they are members of the RV campground.
Oh.
And apparently they're very well regarded. We had no idea that they would even know who they were.
Tarnished their good KOA name.
We did get a lecture when we returned.
Oh my God.
I know. And I'm like, last time.
Do you know how hard it is to get a lifetime membership to the KOA?
I don't even want to begin to tell you the process. That sticker means respect, goodwill, being a good neighbor. It's like, we will never allow you to use our membership again. Ever.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
I know. I never went camping with him again. It was done.
I don't blame you.
God, it was done. All right. Well, we're running out, but I want to do some Ugly and Awkward moments of the week, and then we'll say goodbye for this Wednesday show. Camping edition, of course. So the first one is summer camp edition. Now, you and I, neither one of us did summer camp, so we don't really know what it's like to go to summer camp.
Did Stephanie and Allison do it, though? Or did Allison do it?
Oh.
I know one of them went to summer camp.
God, really? Oh, I'm jealous. Okay, this one.
I'm pretty sure it was Allison. She got to do everything.
You're right. Okay, it said, I had a horrible cough. One day during the worst of it, I was in the dining hall porch right after lunch. I coughed so hard that I threw up and peed my pants at the same time.
God, was she pregnant? I mean, that sounds like something happens when you're pregnant.
God, can you imagine throwing up so hard that you pee your pants?
Jamie, that happened to me multiple times a day when I was pregnant with Olivia.
You know what? It's so true.
After a while, I just stopped wearing underwear. There was no point.
It's like, why soil another pair of underwear at this point?
I'd go in the bathroom. There'd already be a towel on the floor because, that was my mount.
That's your pee. You would mount the pee towel. Here we go. Was it at least a beach towel? A little extra absorbency?
I think it was like a little old blue towel.
Something you would throw away
I would
later.
have my nightgown on. I'd just hoist it up and then I'd be like,
that sucks, man. Okay, here's the second one. This is a quickie. My husband was super drunk, couldn't get the zipper of the tent door open. His solution? Cut it open with a knife. Ruin the tent.
Oh my God. Why are men dumb?
I don't know. A woman would, what a woman would do? She'd be like, help me, I can't open the tent.
No, that or I just would have gotten in the car and slept in there. I'd be happier.
Yes. So anyway, those are the camping ugly and awkward moments. Please submit yours if you have any. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, I know. That'd be awesome. Or pointers for camping. If you're a woman, if you have any suggestions, let's hope that it's not going to be your time of the month.
The suggestion it will be you shouldn't go camping.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be.
They'll be like,
you don't want to attract bears, Jamie.
They can smell the menstruation.
They can smell the. See, Brian, you're putting the whole station at risk.
So you see this? You're putting everybody at risk here. I love that movie.
That movie is hilarious.
It's a classic.
Anyways, well, thank you for joining us. Please be sure to visit uglytruth.com. Click on the Amazon button, specifically on July 15th and 16th, because that is Prime member days.
Yes.
And they will have some great specials and deals on many items that will probably be of interest to you. Also, visit lipandclip.com and get some makeup on. I actually am going to have to go there and order some more concealer because I am getting tanned, apparently, by going outside.
Oh.
And when I put some concealer under my eyes the other day, I looked a little bit like an owl or a raccoon.
Oh.
So I need to get a darker shade.
Opposite raccoon. Yes.
Right. So I will have to get a darker shade. And you might notice that you've been getting some sun and perhaps you need a little bit darker color as well. So be sure to visit that. Other than that, have a fabulous rest of your week and we will see you on Sunday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.